Welcome Memlohana and our friends to Group 2 presentation with theme e-commerce, digital markets, and digital goods. Crew from GBL consists Alvira Aurelia, Ayu Irawan, Clara, Rues, Cristina, Nisa, Kumala, Anggriani, and Widhi Huta.
So, for the first material in this chapter, I'm going to explain about the unique features of e-commerce, digital markets, and digital goods. E-commerce today. E-commerce refers to the use of the internet and the web to transact business. More formally, e-commerce is about digitally enabled commercial transactions between and among organizations and individuals. E-commerce began in 1995 from one of the first internet portals called Netscape.com. They was accepted the first ads from major corporations and popularized the idea that the web could be used as a new medium for advertising and sales. E-commerce grew at double-digit rates until the recession of 2008 until 2009, but they still stable. After that, the very rapid growth in e-commerce in the early years created a market bubble in the e-commerce stocks. And by 2006, e-commerce revenues returned to solid growth and have continued to be the fastest growing form of retail trade in the United States, Europe, and Asia. So, e-commerce today, e-commerce refers to the use of the internet and the web to transact business. More formally, e-commerce is about digitally enabled commercial transactions between and among organizations and individuals. E-commerce began in 1995 from one of the first internet portals called Netscape.com. They was accepted the first ads from major corporations and popularized the idea that the web could be used as a new medium for advertising and sales. E-commerce grew at double-digit rates until the recession of 2008 until 2009, but they still stable. After that, the very rapid growth in e-commerce in the early years created a market bubble in e-commerce stocks, and by 2006, e-commerce revenues returned to solid growth and have continued to be the fastest growing form of retail trade in the United States, Europe, and Asia. The next one is the new e-commerce, which becomes social, mobile, and local. In the new e-commerce, there is something called conversational e-commerce. Conversational e-commerce is the dual and related concepts of conversations and engagement which become the differentiator of both social, mobile, local e-commerce. Traditional online marketing still constitutes the majority of all online marketing, but it's growing much more slowly than social, mobile, local marketing. Social, mobile, and local e-commerce are all connected. As mobile devices become more widely adopted, customers can use them to find local merchants, and merchants can use them to alert customers in their neighborhood of special offers. The next one is I'm going to explain about why e-commerce is different. The first one is ubiquity. It means internet or web technology available everywhere, even at work, home, and so on. It affects marketplace removed from temporal geographic location and become market space. It also enhances customer convenience and reduce shopping costs. And then global reach. The technologies reaches across national boundaries around Earth. It affects on the enabled of commerce across cultural and national boundaries seamlessly and without modification, and potentially create market space including billions of consumers and millions of businesses worldwide. Universal standards. Technical standards for doing e-commerce are universal standards because it uses internet. The benefits for a producer, it will reduce the cost of entering the market. It means or market entry cost. This is a cost that must be incurred by the seller to bring the goods to the market. For consumers, universal standards reduce search costs, business that is needed to get the goods accordingly for their wish. And then social technologies, the business model which can connect between businesses with social media accounts. The impact is that the new internet social and business model enable user content creation and distribution. Number five is richness. It means the context of a message used in marketing presented in a variety through video, audio, and others. With e-commerce, it is possible to deliver rich messages with text, audio, and video simultaneously to large numbers of people. And then interactivity, it allows two-way communication between the seller and the consumer. It makes consumers engage in dialogue that dynamically adjusts experience to the individual. And consumer could become a co-participant on process of delivering of goods to market. And then information density. It means the cost for accessing information, storing, and communicating will be suppressed, but still maintaining accuracy. The impact is greater price transparency, greater cost transparency, and enables merchants to engage in price discrimination. The last one is personalization or customization, which means technology permits modifications of messages and goods. The impact is personalized message can be sent to individuals as well as groups. Products and services can also be customized to individuals' preference.
The next is key concept in e-commerce, digital market, and digital goods in a global marketplace. The internet has created a digital marketplace where millions of people all over the world can exchange massive information directly, instantly, and free. In digital market, customer and supplier can see the price being charged for goods, and in that sense, digital markets are said to be more transparent than traditional market. Digital markets are very flexibility and efficient, and using big data analytics, some online firms can adjust price at the individual level based on behavioral targeting parameters. Those new digital markets can either reduce or increase switching costs depending on the nature of the product or service being sold, and they might cause some extra delay in gratification due to shipping times. Digital markets provide many opportunities to sell directly to the customer, bypassing intermediaries such as distributor or retail outlet. The picture in this slide illustrates how much saving results from eliminating each of these layers in the distribution process. By selling directly to the customer or reducing the number of intermediaries, companies can raise profit while charging lower prices. The removal of organization or business process layer responsible for intermediary step in a value chain is called disintermediation. Disintermediation is affecting the market for service. Next is digital goods. The internet digital marketplace has greatly expanded sales of digital goods, goods that can be delivered over a digital network. Music track, video, Hollywood movie, software, newspaper, magazine, and books can all be expressed, stored, delivered, and sold as purely digital product. In general, for digital goods, the marginal cost of producing another unit is about zero. It costs nothing to make a copy of a music file. However, the cost of producing the original first unit is relatively high. In fact, it is nearly the total cost of the product because there are a few other costs of inventory and distribution. Costs of delivery over the internet are very low. Marketing costs often remain the same, and pricing can be highly variable. On the internet, the merchant can change prices as often as desired because
of low menu costs. The impact of the internet on the market for this kind of digital goods is nothing short of revolutionary, and we see the result around us every day. The table in this slide illustrates about how the internet changed the market of digital goods. In the table, there is said about the different digital goods and traditional goods.
Next, we have type of e-commerce. There are three major electronic commerce categories. The first one is business to consumer or B2C. This type of electronic commerce involves retailing products and services to individual shoppers. It sells goods and services directly to individual consumers. Amazon, Walmart, and iTunes are examples of B2C commerce. Second, we have business-to-business electronic commerce, or B2B. This type of electronic commerce involves sales of goods and services among businesses. Alibaba is an example of B2B e-commerce. The third, we have consumer-to-consumer, or C2C. This e-commerce involves consumers selling directly to consumers. For example, eBay, the giant web auction site, enables people to sell their goods to other consumers by auctioning their merchandise off to the highest bidder or for a fixed price. eBay acts as a middleman by creating a digital platform for peer-to-peer commerce. Then we have e-commerce business models. Changes in the economics of information have created the conditions for entirely new business models to appear while destroying older business models. All use the internet, including apps on mobile devices, to add extra value to existing products and services, or to provide the foundation for new products and services. And here are some e-commerce business models. The first one is Portal. Portal provides initial point of entry to the web along with specialized content and other services. A web portal is a web page that displays specific information to users and influences readers to enter the site. For example, is Google, Yahoo, and Bing. Then we have e-tailer. An e-tailer is a retailer that primarily uses the internet as a medium for customers to shop for goods and or service provided. The value proposition of e-tailers is to provide convenient, low-cost shopping, 24/7, large selection, and consumer choices. For example, is Amazon. Then we have content provider. Content providers distribute information content such as digital video, music, photos, text, and artwork over the web. The value proposition of online content providers is that consumers can conveniently find a wide range of content online and purchase this content inexpensively to be played or viewed on multiple computer devices or smartphones. For example, is WSJ.com, KDimage.com, iTunes.com, and Games.com. Then we have transaction broker. A transaction broker is a site that processes transactions for consumers normally handled in person, by phone, or by mail. The largest industries using this model are financial services and travel services. It saves users money and time by processing online sales transactions and generating a fee each time transactions occur. For example, is Expedia. And then we have market creator. Market creator provides a digital environment where buyers and sellers can meet, search for products, display products, and establish prices for those products. Can serve consumers or B2B e-commerce, generating revenue from transaction fees. For example, like eBay. Then we have service provider. Service provider offers services online. It provides applications such as photo sharing, video sharing, and user-generated content as services. It provides other services such as online data storage and backup, for example, like Google Drive and Dropbox. Next, we have community provider. Community providers are sites that create a digital online environment where people with similar interests can transact, buy and sell goods, share interests, photos, videos, communicate with like-minded people, receive interest-related information, and even play out fantasies by adopting online personalities called avatars. Provides community provider provides an online meeting place where people with similar interests can communicate and find useful information. For example, like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And then we move to e-commerce revenue models. A firm's revenue model describes how the firm will earn revenue, generate profits, and produce a superior return on investment. Although many e-commerce revenue models have been developed, most companies rely on one or some combination of the following 6 revenue models. The first one is advertising revenue model. In the advertising revenue model, a website generates revenue by attracting a large audience of visitors who can then be exposed to advertisements. The advertising model is the most widely used revenue model in e-commerce, and arguably, without advertising revenues, the web would be a vastly different experience from what it is now, because people would be asked to pay for access to content. Then sales revenue model. In the sales revenue model, companies derive revenue by selling goods, information, or service to customers. Companies such as Amazon, LLbean.com, and Gap.com all have sales revenue models. Then we have subscription revenue models. In the subscription revenue model, a website offering content or services charges a subscription fee for access to some or all of its offerings on an ongoing basis. Content providers often use this revenue model. Netflix is one of the most successful subscriber sites with more than 75 million customers worldwide in 2016. And to be successful, the subscription model requires the content to be perceived as differentiated, having high added value and not readily available elsewhere or easily replicated. Next, we have free or freemium revenue model. In the free or freemium revenue model, firms offer basic services or content for free and charge a premium for advanced or special features. For example, Google offers free applications but charge for premium services. And Spotify Music service also uses a freemium business model. The idea is to attract very large audience with free services and then convert some of this audience to pay a subscription for premium services. The problem with this model is converting people from being freeloaders into paying customers. Free can be a powerful model for losing money. None of the premium music streaming sites have earned a profit to date. Nevertheless, they are finding that free service with ad revenue is more profitable than the paid subscriber part of their business. Then we have transaction fee revenue model. In the transaction fee revenue model, a company receives a fee for enabling or executing a transaction. For example, eBay provides an online auction marketplace and receives a small transaction fee from a seller if the seller is successful in selling an item. The transaction revenue model enjoys wide acceptance in part because the true cost of using the platform is not immediately apparent to the user. And the last, we have affiliate revenue model. In the affiliate revenue model, websites are called as affiliate websites send visitors to other websites in return for a referral fee or percentage of the revenue from any resulting sales. Referral fees are also referred to as lead generation fees. Amazon uses affiliates that steer business to the Amazon website by placing the Amazon logo on their blogs. Personal blogs often contain display ads as part of affiliate programs. And some bloggers are paid directly by manufacturers or receive free products for speaking highly of products and providing links to sales channels.
Behavioral targeting. Many e-commerce marketing firms use behavioral targeting technique to increase the effectiveness of banners, rich media, and video ads. Behavioral targeting refers to tracking the clickstream of individuals on thousands of websites to understand their interests and intentions and expose them to advertisements that are uniquely suited to their interests. Unfortunately, behavioral targeting of millions of web users also lead to the invasion of personal privacy without user consent. Behavioral targeting takes a place at two levels, at individual websites or from within apps, and on various advertising networks that track users across thousands of websites. All websites collect data on visitor browser activity and store it in the database. Firms analyze this information about customer interest and behavior to develop precise profile of existing and potential customers. By using personalization technology to modify the web page presented to its customer, marketers achieve some of the benefit of using individual salespeople at dramatically lower cost. Next is ad network. Ad networks represent publishers who have space to sell and advertisers who want to work to market online. The lubricant of this trade is information about millions of web shoppers, which help advertisers target their ads to precisely the group and individual they desire. Ad network create real-time bidding platform or RTP where marketers bid in an automated environment for highly targeted slots available from web publishers. Native advertising involves placing ads in social network, newsfeed, or within traditional editorial content such as a newspaper article. This is also referred to as organic advertising, where content and advertising are in very close proximity or integrated together. Next is social e-commerce and social network marketing. Social e-commerce is commerce based on the idea of digital social graph, a mapping of all significant online social relationships. The social graph is synonymous with the idea of a social network used to describe offline relationships. The social graph is therefore a collection of millions of personal social graphs, so it's a small word in that, and we are all more closely linked than we ever thought. If understand the interconnected of people, we will know and see just how important this concept to e-commerce. The product and service you buy will influence the decision of your friends, and their decision will in turn to influence you. In 2017, one of the fastest growing media for branding and marketing is social media. Expenditures for social media marketing are much smaller than for television, magazine, and even newspaper, but this will change in the future. Social networks in the offline world are collection of people who voluntarily communicate with one another over an extended period of time. The fastest growing smartphone applications are social network apps. Nearly half of smartphone users visit social sites daily. Online communicates are also ideal venue to employ viral marketing techniques. Online viral marketing is like a traditional word of mouth marketing, except that the word can spread across an online community at the speed of light and go much farther geographically than a small network of friends.
So next is about how has e-commerce affected business-to-business transaction. And the trade between business firm or business-to-business commerce or B2B represent a huge marketplace. And the process of conducting trade among business firms is complex and requires significant human intervention, therefore it consumes significant resources. If even just a portion of interfirm trade were automated, and parts of the entire procurement process were assisted by the internet, literally trillions of dollars might be released for more productive use, consumer price potentially would fall, productivity would increase, and the economic wealth of the nation would expand. And the challenge of B2B e-commerce is changing existing patterns and systems of procurement and designing and implementing new internet-based B2B solutions. So that's why we have EDI, or Electronic Data Interchange. So in EDI, B2B e-commerce refers to the commercial transactions that occur among business firms, and increasingly these transactions are flowing through a variety of internet-enabled mechanisms, and about 80% of online B2B e-commerce is still based on custody system for electronic data interchange, or EDI. EDI enables the computer-to-computer exchange between two organizations of standard transactions such as invoice, bills of lading, shipment schedules, and purchase orders. EDI originally automated the exchange of documents such as purchase order, invoice, and shipping notice. And companies use EDI to automate transactions for B2B commerce and continuous inventory replenishment. And suppliers can automatically send data about shipment to purchasing firms, and the purchasing firms can use EDI to provide production and inventory requirements and payment data to suppliers. And then there's new ways of B2B buying and selling. First is about private industrial networks. So in these private industrial networks, typically consist of a large firm using a secure website to link to its suppliers and other key business partners. And another term for a private industrial network is a private exchange. And the second one is net marketplace. So in this net marketplace, which are sometimes called e-hubs, provide a single digital marketplace based on internet technology for many buyers and sellers. And there are many types of net marketplace and ways of classifying them, and some sell direct goods and some sell indirect goods. So direct goods are goods used in a production process such as sheet steel for auto body production, and indirect goods are all other goods not directly involved in the production process, such as office supplies or products for maintenance and repair. And some net marketplace serve vertical markets for specific industry, such as automobiles, telecommunication, or machine tools, whereas others serve horizontal markets for goods and services that can be found in many industries, such as office equipment or transportation. So that's why exchanges are independently owned third-party net marketplace that connect thousands of suppliers and buyers for spot purchasing. Many exchanges provide vertical markets for a single industry, such as food, electronics, or industrial equipment, and they primarily deal with direct inputs. An exchange proliferated during the early years of e-commerce, but many have failed because suppliers were reluctant to participate because the exchange encouraged competitive bidding that drove price down and did not offer any long-term relationship with buyers or service to make lowering price worthwhile. So the next one is, what is the role of e-commerce in business, and what are the most important e-commerce applications? As the mobile audience expands in leaps and bounds, mobile advertising and e-commerce have taken off. However, e-commerce is the fastest growing form of e-commerce, expanding at a rate of 50% or more per year. That's why there's location-based service and application. Location-based service include geosocial, geoadvertising, and geoinformation service, and 74% of smartphone owners use location-based service. What ties these activities together and is the foundation for mobile commerce is the Global Positioning System, or GPS, that enable map service available on smartphones. A geosocial service can tell you where your friends are meeting, and geoadvertising service can tell you where to find the nearest restaurant, and geoinformation service can tell you the price of a house you are looking at or about special exhibits at a museum you are passing. Location-based services are on the main economy firms such as Uber, Lyft, Airbnb, Instacart, and hundreds more that provide service to users in local areas and are based on the user location. So for the example, there is Rues is an example of a popular social care information service, and that is a GPS-based map and navigational app for smartphones that now owned by Google, and which locates the user car on a digital map using GPS, and like other navigation programs, collects information on the user's speed and direction continuously. And there's Foursquare and New Rings by Facebook and Google are examples of geosocial service. Geosocial service help you find friends or your friends to find you by checking in to the service and announcing your presence in a restaurant or other place. And geo-advertising send ads to users based on their GPS location. Smartphones report their location back to Google and Apple, and merchants buy access to this consumer when they come within range of a merchant. For instance, there is Guardian Stores, a cosmetic retailer sends special offers and announcements to customers who came within 100 yards of their store.
And for the next topic, I want to explain to you guys about other mobile commerce service. The mobile advertising market is the fastest growing online ad platform. 55% of online retailers now have e-commerce website. That is simplified version of their website that enable shoppers to use cell phones to shop and place order. For the example, banks and credit card companies have developed service that let customers manage their account from their mobile device. The next topic is what issues must be addressed when building an e-commerce presence. Building a successful e-commerce presence requires a keen understanding of business, technology, and social issues, as well as a systematic approach. The two the two most important management challenges in building a successful e-commerce presence are: one, developing a clear understanding of your business objective, and two, knowing how to choose the right technology to achieve those objectives. The next topic is develop an e-commerce presence map. So this is a map that calls figure 10.10. E-commerce itself has moved from being a PC-centric activity on the web to a mobile and tablet-based activity. The potential customer use these various devices at different times during the day and involve themselves in different conversation. Each of these is a touch point where you can meet the customer, and you have to think about how you develop a presence in these different virtual places. So this table, that is figure 10.10, provides a roadmap to the platform and related activities you will need to think about when developing your e-commerce presence. Figure 10.10 illustrate four kind of e-commerce. There is website, email, social media, and offline media. You must address different platform for each of these type. Moreover, for each type of e-commerce presence, there are related activities you will need to consider. So as you can see in this table, there are four types of presence. One is website. Uh, in website, there are three platforms: traditional, mobile, and tablet. In activity, you can see that there is search, display, apps, affiliates, and sponsorship. For the email presence, there are two platforms: there is internal list and purchase list. For the activity, there are three activity: there is newsletter, updates, and sales. For the social media presence, there are three platforms: Facebook, Twitter, and blogs. And for the activity, there are conversation, engagement, sharing, and advice. And the last is offline media. There are two platforms, print and TV and radio. And for the activities, there are education, exposure, and branding. For the next topic, develop a time milestone. It's very helpful for you to have a rough idea of the time frame for developing your e-commerce presence when you begin. You should break your project down into a small number of phases that could be completed within a specific time. Here, so I'm gonna show you about the. Here is the top table that illustrates a one-year timeline for the development of an e-commerce presence for a startup company devoted to fashion for teenagers. So for the phase number one, there are planning. In activity, you can envision web presence and determine personnel. For the milestone, web mission statement. Phase number two is website development. In activity, you can acquire content, develop a site design, and arrange for hosting the site. Phase number three, that called web implementation. You can do develop keywords and meta text, focus and search focus on search engine optimization and identify potential sponsor. Phase number Phase number 4 is social media plan. You can do identify appropriate social platform and content for your products and service. Phase number 5 is called social media implementation. You can do develop Facebook, Twitter, and Pinterest presence. And for phase number 6 is mobile plan. You can do develop a mobile plan. Consider option for porting your website to smartphone.